What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today's episode 315. That is a lot of episodes of Waterboy Podcast. 315. I haven't done this. I haven't done this in a while, but wow, that it is a long time coming. But episode 315, the first of a summer of in-person Waterboy pods.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sort this out.
This is definitely gonna be the worst one.
This is likely,
like maybe the best content because of that.
It will likely
maybe be the best memories,
the best content, but for your viewing pleasure, listening pleasure,
I can already see many clippable frames with this camera. I kind of love this. But we may need to keep this camera set up forever. Fix the mics, but
yeah. But hey, all I'm saying. For your listening pleasure this episode, fantastic. Viewing pleasure, probably not great. Or maybe
I think this is the best viewing experience. This is the worst audio you're going to hear ever.
So flipped.
This is without a doubt going to be the best viewing experience. When I figure out how to get that
TV
to work, oh boy, it's going to be something. The Waterboy Pod, a lot of copyright strikes. All I'm going to say. A lot of copyright strikes with what's going on back there. But episode 315 in person, zero notes out of me today. Not going to lie, Waterboy faithful, no notes out of me. So I'm going to read the absolute shit out of the Chargers schedule later. We'll be determined when I do that, but I'm going to read the absolute shit out of it. I have not read through the entire schedule. I purposely waited off on it for you, so you guys are welcome. Dookie Betts just scored to cut the lead to 7-1.
Yeah,
Chris Paul cut the lead to 43. Yeah, but
I mean, look, this is probably there's a lot of stuff to talk about with the NFL. So that's where we're going to start. First, Grant, one thing that I wanted to talk about that it kind of like came out in between our last two episodes, but especially with like the NBA lottery. You're talking about the NBA lottery. And every year there seems to be this notion that we're of around the NBA lottery, and it's the NFL should do a lottery system.
I think that's an awful idea.
I think it's absolutely a horrendous idea. And the biggest point of it is, okay, first of all, you have teams in the NFL like the Patriots who object.
Wait, who was it who said it again?
It might have been Adam Schefter.
I don't think it was. No. I think it was like Mike Greenberg.
That him or Andrew something. But the bigger point is like that would not work whatsoever. And on top of it, like you have teams that actually like care to play in the NFL. And the reason why that's the case is because like these players have bonuses and salaries, and like coaches
Greenberg
are trying to coach for their like next job or trying to retain.
Let's be honest, Mike Greenberg came at it from a good angle. He went at it purely from a ratings perspective. From that, good on you, Mike Greenberg. That's what Roger Goodell's looking for. From a business perspective, tip of the cap to you, Mike Greenberg. Logistic standpoint, probably wouldn't work. I think MLB actually does have a lottery system. I believe so, but who really cares about the MLB draft? So that one doesn't really matter. But NFL wouldn't work. And also imagine if the NFL was rigged like the NBA. Let's go over the list of franchises who would never get the number one pick real quick. So starting off, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers would never get the number one pick, even if they were 0-17 and every other team had at least 5 wins.
You know,
so what? Like the second worst team's like actually like pretty good.
Let's inverse it
for a bad team
because it's finite. Who are the teams that would get the number one pick? Because there's less of those compared to the teams that would not get the number one.
No. I think it's a lot more fun to go by the teams that the NFL would never let. So the Chargers are 1, the Browns are 2,
Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah.
Number 1. No.
I guess, but
by
recency bias,
pure rating standpoint, like
sure. But I could see the Panthers kind of being like the New Orleans Pelicans, and them wanting to help John
every once in a while.
Yeah, but the Browns they would never let. The Chargers they would never let.
Raiders?
No, 100% would let them get it. The
Colts.
No, definitely would let the Colts get it.
So, I mean, you can't be like every single team is gonna.
No. The Houston Texans, no, would never be allowed to have it. The Jacksonville Jaguars, hell no. I would actually say, yeah, no. It's every team in the South except the Colts, which ironically is in the North. Yeah, every AFC South team that is in the South, you would never be allowed to get it. I actually don't think any NFC other than the Panthers. Ironically, the Panthers are the only NFC South team that I think they would let get it.
I think that they would let the Bucks get it, but not like I can see the Bucks having an argument.
Yeah, okay. Bucks they would allow happen. They would never go. Yeah, okay, yeah, no. We're gonna keep the argument at that. I was about to open up the argument to a whole new channel.
I'm just gonna run through. I'm just gonna run through. You're just gonna say yes, no, just easy yes.
Yeah,
no, okay?
yeah.
Bills.
Yes.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Patriots.
The whole division. Yeah.
Jets. Ravens.
No.
Bengals.
No.
Browns.
Nobody in this division except the Steelers. Steelers,
which will never ever be.
Yeah, but the Steelers would never. Yeah, no, exactly. That's another thing.
Argue this, but Texans no, Colts yes, Jaguars
only the Colts in that division.
Broncos.
No.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Yes.
Chargers.
No.
Cowboys.
Yes.
Giants.
But the Cowboys would never get the number one pick.
They'd be the second pick if they ever got close.
They would obviously want the Cowboys to get it, but I just feel like the Cowboys would never be in a position to get the number one pick, if that makes sense. The whole division, yes.
Every single
the whole
Commanders,
division, yes. Now with this ownership, you asked me 3 years ago, we know that answer.
Bears.
Yeah.
Yes.
They need to give them as many as possible to get them back.
No.
Hell no.
Packers.
Yes, but they would never be in a position.
Vikings.
I don't think they would.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't think they would let you guys get the number one pick.
Falcons. Panthers.
No, just the Panthers, that division.
Well, Bucks, we had an argument.
Okay, Bucks too.
Cardinals. No. Rams.
Yeah, but I just don't see a path where they could have
49ers.
Of course.
Seahawks.
No.
Yeah.
All right, is that it? Do we go? All right, yep. Boom.
There you go. But I just also somebody else that said this just as by a fan standpoint, they were like, if you make a 2-15 team pick 6th in the NFL draft, like the worst team,
but also just later rounds.
But the point is, if you make that team do it, the fans are going to riot. Like the NFL headquarters in New York will just have picketers outside. That's like the nice term. Like it won't be picketers. There's going to be other things. Knowing the NFL fan base and specifically,
I am just thinking also NFL just because there's so many rounds and it determines the rest of the round. Like they really could. They really can't. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. That's 7 draft picks.
One other thing though that I feel like we have to address is the Caleb Williams stuff with the Vikings.
I think this is more so a Bears segment than anything. I don't think Caleb Williams' dad said anything wrong. I'm saying Caleb Williams' dad because he let it. But Caleb Williams' dad is correct. Chicago is not a great place to be a quarterback. Everything he said was true. And the other spot was Washington, who at the time, Chicago and Washington are like the two worst places to be a quarterback. Obviously, Jaden Daniels happened. New ownership, screw you. But you get what I'm saying. Chicago, Washington, for a quarterback, you're failing. You are failing. You're failing.
Yeah, also, it's just like the way that he went about talking about that.
Well, I mean, I think we remember this happening, though. I think it was like literally around the time he won, or no, he didn't win the Heisman that last year. He had another season. But it was like around December. Like he's done with his season. College season hasn't wrapped yet, but I remember the first rumbling of Caleb Williams draft stuff was him being like, I'm not going to Chicago. And I was like, they're pulling a Manning.
No, but it's also like the way that this article went about it is saying like they almost considered signing with the UFL to get out of it.
Come on. What are we talking about? No. But force your way out and have them trade the pick. Sure.
I just like that is just like the thing to me is objectively speaking, like, what do you do if you're the Bears in this situation? Like, you just don't recognize it. Like, you don't.
Yep, no. We move on. We are on to 2025, onto the 2025-26 season. Pretend like nothing happened. Everything is great in Chicago.
I mean, that's, as a Vikings fan, that's ecstatic to me. But
what pick number did the Vikings have that year? 10?
I think we had 10. We drafted JJ.
How? Yeah, no, I know, but
I think we had
12. How could the Vikings have gotten the number one pick? Because Caleb Williams got number one no matter what. So, like, how would the Vikings have gotten the number one pick from the Bears? The Bears to trade the Vikings the number one.
I don't think that it would have happened unless Caleb literally was like, I'm not going. You have to trade me. In which case, the Vikings are trading not for the pick, they're trading for the player, which might be easier overall.
I got no idea how this works. But yeah. I
don't know. Maybe like Jordan.
I have no idea, but I do think Caleb Williams on the Vikings pretty dirty.
You probably
would be pretty dirty. Not gonna lie.
Probably would have needed to trade like Jordan Addison, Byron Murphy, Cam Bynum, and like 2 firsts.
Yeah, probably a lot of picks.
Maybe your next 3 first-round picks in honor of.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have been worth it at the end of the day. But that was the Caleb Williams update
with JJ. But just speaking about the Vikings, though, I have an ESPN stat for you. Not literally like from ESPN, but like in the same vein. We kind of pull this out every year. I pull out something Vikings related like every year. Vikings play the Ravens this year, Grant. We talked about this in the schedule and like the last episode we were breaking down the schedule. Vikings play the Ravens this year. Every season that the Vikings have played the Ravens, they have either reached the NFC Championship game or their head coach has been fired. Every single, like clockwork, the Ravens have formally existed since 1996, and every single year since then, every year that the Vikings have played them, it's either head coach fired or they make the NFC Championship.
Well, that's one of 2 ways. That is quite the season.
Well, so here,
stay tuned.
1998 NFC Championship. 2001, they fired Dennis Green. 2005, they fired Mike Tice.
Okay, this is a lot of matchups. I thought you were going to say they've played like 4 times.
No.
This has happened.
2009 NFC Championship. 2013, Leslie Frazier was fired. 2017 NFC Championship. 2021, Mike Zimmer fired. 1998, they won 38-20. I don't have to go through the scores because I already explained that. But
yeah, I don't need to hear the final scores.
But here's the thing. You tell me, Kevin O'Connell, there's no either there's a streak breaker and they lose because Kevin O'Connell's not getting fired. So just from a hype perspective, the Vikings are going to the NFC Championship this year.
Yeah, it's either that or neither of the 2 is going to happen.
They tie.
But
we don't have a tie. We don't have a tie. That's
obviously one of the 2 has to occur. Now it doesn't go anything past that. Do we have anything further, like getting potentially shit pumped in the NFC Championship game?
Well, they've lost in every NFC Championship.
No, I know, but are they all shit pumps?
No, well, just 2017. 2009 was not like a shit pump. That was overtime. That was the Saints Super Bowl.
Okay. Just a question.
That was just 2017.
Yeah, so that's where it ends.
2021 was the last matchup, though.
This is going to be one NFL season. I was about to maybe potentially give picks right there on the Super Bowl, but no, I'm not doing that yet. No, I'm not giving my Super Bowl pick out right now.
It is currently May, so
yeah, no, not going to do that one yet. Way too early Super Bowl prediction. No, I'm not going to do it yet. Nope, not going to do it yet. But I think it's time for me to read the shit out of the Chargers schedule.
I could go for that.
All right, Chargers schedule. Week 1, Chiefs in Brazil. That is, to be honest, if I was going to pick the Chargers to beat the Chiefs, this would probably be the game. This would probably be the one. I'm not gonna do that though. I'm picking the Chiefs to sweep us. That has a tendency to happen a lot.
The Chargers typically play better in Arrowhead, right, than at home. So this is in your favor, being your home game has been moved to.
That's actually a very good point. That's actually a really good point. But even then, it makes sense that this is the game to drop. So yeah, no, Chiefs gonna beat us. Week 2 at Raiders, Monday night. That's a long week of rest. Okay, Friday to a Monday turnaround. That's a Chargers dub. Monday Night Football week 2. That's a Chargers dub in the Death Star. Yeah. Week 3 Broncos at home. SoFi home opener. Broncos week 3. What would the Denver Broncos offense look like in week 3? Do you think they'd have a pass game? Week 3, do you think they'd have a pass game?
Here's what I think. I think you beat the Broncos in week 3 and you get probably pumped in week 18 in Denver, in Mile
High. Pumped. The only way I could see us getting pumped is if we're clinch the playoffs and resting. Because last year, Bo Nix against the depleted Chiefs, that was a Bo Nix shit pumping in Arrowhead last year. All right, look up week 18, Bo Nix against the backups. But actually, no, I like that. Broncos week 3, that's a dub. Giants week 4, that's a dub. That's a dub. Week 5, Commanders. Oh, yikes. We are 3-2. At Miami in October. Game. Wait. Is this a bye? No, not a bye. Yeah, no. Miami on the road, we tend to have a bad time playing Miami in general. There's a chance though, week 6 Miami is a horrendous football team. Tyreek has been arrested. Tua has another concussion. Jalen Wright is the starting running back.
Quinn Ewers is there, and Zach Wilson.
And Ollie Gordon. So, okay, the Miami Dolphins may be a dumpster fire. We'll see what happens. If healthy, I'm going to be a good guy.
Hey,
benefit of the doubt.
This is what I'm going to say. Week 6, Miami Dolphins game. That's the determining game whether or not Mike McDaniel gets fired. That's the line.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll be honest. I'm going to pick the Chargers to win that game. Okay. Right now, Chargers are 4-2. Colts. Chargers are probably going to beat the Colts. 5-2. I think we're going to lose to the Vikings. I already made that pick. And it's a short week for us. Probably a double short week for both teams involved. Chargers, yeah, right. Chargers going to lose that shit.
At home, though.
Dude, I don't care. There is no home field advantage for the Chargers. Wait, so that brings me now to 5-4?
I believe so. Yeah, yes.
No,
5-3.
Titans week 9, that's a dub.
Sneaky.
6-3. Steelers L. 6-4. Jaguars dub. Jaguars a dub. 7-4.
I'm going L.
Jaguars, that is a dub. Bye week.
Good late.
Herbert's gonna have a great fishing trip. No, it's not Thanksgiving week. It's the week before. Herbert gets a nice little long pre-Thanksgiving week. Good fishing trip. Mid-November, that's solid fishing. Raiders, yeah, no, that sweep. Get the brooms out. All right, broom. What does that take me now?
I was not. I thought you were keeping track.
I believe I have them now at 8-4. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to pump the brakes hard. Eagles, fat L. Holy shit. 8-5. Shit pumping at home. Chiefs another 8-6. Cowboys. We win this one. 9-6. Lose the Texans. 9-7. Broncos. Chargers might be clinched at 9-7, and they no
clinching at 9-7 is
no. That 9-7, 10-7 Chargers.
This is
beat the Broncos last week. Sweep.
This is what I'm saying.
10-7.
Week 1, L versus the Chiefs, 0-1. Week 2 at Las Vegas, dub. Okay, 1-1.
Oh yeah.
Denver, dub, 2-1. Okay. New York, 3-1. Washington, 3-2. Miami, 4-2. Colts, 4-3. 4-3. 5-2. Vikings, 5-3. Tennessee in Tennessee. Surprise loss, 5-4.
Surprise L.
Surprise L, 5-4. Pittsburgh.
Who's the Tennessee Titans head coach? I'm curious. Keep going.
No idea. 5-4. Pittsburgh. I'm gonna give you a dub here on this one.
Okay, so you're just flipping the
6-4. Jacksonville. Win. 7-4.
I just have no idea what the Jags are going to be next season.
No. Las Vegas though. L versus Las Vegas. 7-5. L versus Philly. 7-6. Chiefs lose 7-7. We're on a disastrous course here. Beat Dallas 8-7. Beat Houston 9-7. Beat Denver 10-7. You go 10-7 in the playoffs.
All right, yeah, I picked 10-7 too. Different games. For me, 3-game win streak going into the playoffs.
I could also see you losing.
I'll take that
to Houston though. Losing to Houston, winning versus
I picked us to lose Houston personally. I personally just could not see the Chargers losing to the Titans. If the that may be my game of the year. That may be my game of the year. Chargers spread game of the year.
I picked the Vikings to lose to the Titans in the surprise upset last year too.
I think the Titans are going to be awful. I'm talking 4-13, a 3-4.
Well,
3-4
I think
team.
there'll still be teams worse than them this year, though.
I don't know. I really don't know.
You've seen the New Orleans Saints lately?
Hey,
look,
I can just see them getting more wins because they just have like better players all around.
I mean,
dude, the Tennessee Titans, like, can we name any good players on their team? Okay. We love Tajay on this podcast. Can we name any Pro Bowlers? All pro players.
Not all pros. Calvin Ridley was a Pro Bowler. DeAndre Hopkins.
All right. So we are bringing up the washed wide receivers of Christmas past. So no, there aren't any. At least some other bad teams last year, there's some hope for some step ups. Panthers, Bryce Young could take a leap. It was another awful team last year. Give me another.
Last year?
Giants, Daboll's won a playoff game before. They didn't get back to 6 wins. I just feel like I can't see the Saints.
Jeffrey Simmons is good on the Titans.
All right, so we got like a 5 tech. All right, yeah. So we are not going anywhere in Nashville. Tennessee Titans are going to be bad. That is my hot take of the year.
Definitely a hot take.
Yeah, no, hottest take.
I'll tell you this: the 3 worst teams in the NFL going into the season right now, just probably by record and by team, doesn't mean that long term they don't have a future. Probably the Titans, the Dolphins.
Oh, I forgot one team.
And the Browns.
What happened to the New York Jets? The New York Jets are going to be so bad. They're going to be so bad. Like, if the Jets get 6 wins, that's a major W. That's a massive W. If they get 7 wins, Tua needs to retire. Okay, that's the Dolphins' fault. If the Jets get to 7 wins, it's the Dolphins' fault.
What if Tua is healthy the whole season?
There's just, oh my God, that's gonna be the funniest matchup. Justin Fields versus Tua. Oh boy, we got some must-see TV, folks.
That's the battle.
If you were to just tell me though, in like 2019 college football,
or 2020 draft,
if you were to tell me 2019 college football that Tua and Justin Fields are the firm worst quarterbacks in the AFC East, I'm not sure we would have seen that coming. I really don't know who would have thought. But that was the Chargers schedule, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. Should we go through any other teams' schedules?
No, well, I don't think we're going to read any more schedules. I think we hit everything there. Give some more NFL news. Come on, you got it all
in the bag.
Yeah, you got some NFL talking points. I know.
Well, the other thing we talked about this before, but they're finally voting on the tush push being banned this week.
Yeah, that is an interesting rule book decision. I vote keep it, but I think it's going to get banned.
Right now,
but if I would have to vote,
the proposal basically says any push or pull of the ball carrier. Period. Doesn't even have to be on a tush push, just general. Any push or pull.
So it's like reinstating the Reggie Bush rule that I swear used to be a thing, and then they just like got
well,
rid
so
of it.
the rule, basically,
the
Packers revised their proposal, and that's saying the rules that were up until 2005. In 2005, they changed the rules. So now this proposal is saying that any push or pull of a ball carrier.
The Bush push would have been in 05.
I don't know how exactly the timeline worked, but that's just what it says. But either push or pull would be a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, because I mean it is. We went over this already, but it's the whistle. It's when the refs blow the first whistle. When the tush push plays in favor and you get stallmated, you get stalled at the line of scrimmage. They will not blow the whistle when in every other play they blow it dead. But for the tush push, they won't blow it dead. That is the problem when you get stood up, and they don't.
Yeah, like
because if the tush push was just like whistled normally, there would be a lot of -1 Jalen Hurts rushes.
No, yeah, no, 100%.
There'd be a lot.
100%. Like that's
and to be honest, that's how you fix it.
That's also like we talked about that too. Like that literally is the way that you fix the tush push. Is it you just have to blow the whistle quickly. Like if you get stopped,
yeah,
your motion stops.
Yeah, I mean if Hurts is going forward and then they start pushing, that's like man football.
If the line is not moving, and even if Herbert's still like skidding his legs and trying to push forward, Hurts. Even if Hurts is still pushing his legs, but the line's not moving, period, you can't just not blow the whistle and wait until Jason Kelsey turns around and pulls him.
Yeah, that is the problem. They don't blow the whistle dead. Any other play, they would. But is that the last exciting piece of NFL news?
Yeah, that's really the only other
it's
NFL
a slow week of National Football League. That's what that tells us.
Still more NFL stuff today than any other day lately overall.
No, we'll take that overall, definitely. I guess other news of the day. I had some call-ups, some DFAs on the Dodgers over the weekend. We went over it last time, getting rid of Barnes, but the Chris Taylor DFA. This move this move happened because Kim was a pretty good hitter. And they were like, oh shit, we have to keep Kim up. Can't call him down right now. He's really good. And so that is kind of the thing when it comes to Chris Taylor getting
hey, DFA, look, salute to service for Chris Taylor, though.
Yeah, no, salute. Chris Taylor, longtime Dodger. He was just such a Dodger for such a long time. Always will be a fan of Chris Taylor. That dude was Mr. Utility. And he's just such an MLB baseball player.
Well, so what team?
Like if you were to know somebody who has never watched MLB in their life, not a sports fan, they see a picture of Chris Taylor and they're told he is a professional athlete. You need to pick which sport. I think of a group of 100 random non-sports fan, 99 would pick baseball.
Let's just look at a picture of Chris Taylor right now.
I think 99 non-sports fans would say he's a baseball player based off looking at him.
Let's just look at Chris Taylor wearing casual clothes. That is not Chris Taylor. That's
you might be able to look up like Chris Taylor All-Star Game and what he's wearing to the All-Star Game. And it's probably like a t-shirt, jeans, and a backpack.
Let's look at Chris Taylor it's like trophy celebration. So that's probably where he's not wearing too much. All right. Well, you know, he's wearing a Dodgers shirt, but like let's just look at this. All right. If he didn't have a baseball in his hand, what sport are you saying this guy plays?
He looks like a baseball player.
I was gonna say that or golf.
That
that
100%.
get away with a golf.
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. He looks like, yeah, like if he wasn't playing baseball, that guy is like an accountant. Like that's what he looks like the most standard looking guy.
Yeah, you'd see him in your office for 9 to 5.
No, yeah, like Chris Taylor's the type of guy where when he's out in public, especially in LA, like he is a normal human being.
Honestly, that's great.
Oh, sweet. Great. I heard also new location living at now, but I heard there's some hockey players nearby, and they are just never recognized ever, and they all just love it because they're just normal people when they're not.
Wait till I come around.
Well, okay, there's obviously some people who know they are, but compared to other athletes.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
I like any Laker, you can't go anywhere. Austin Reeves can't go anywhere. He can't. No, like literally.
Well,
Rui Hachimura, they're also 6.
Yeah, that was going to say massive.
Like that helps. But it's also a Laker tap.
Like Dalton Connect, maybe.
He can't. No. He insta recognize. Any Laker, you're insta recognize. Except like Dorian Finney-Smith. He might be able to get by.
Like
Finney-Smith could probably get by. Markeith, I would pick him out immediately. And
that is the problem. Like they are all
massive.
Huge.
That's
people.
another thing. Like the utility baseball player, you're the average utility baseball player is 5'11".
Gabe Vincent maybe has a little bit of room. He's not super tall. That's possible.
Gabe Vincent is probably the most like normal non-basketball looking player on the team because he's also like 6'1". So yeah. I'm taking everything in. Yeah, Gabe Vincent probably has the highest chance of fitting in.
I was gonna say maybe like Shake, but he's 6'5".
Yeah, no. Anyone who's like that tall, no shot.
No,
like
even if you're not recognized,
Jackson Hayes, you'd be spotted immediately.
Even if you're not recognized as an NBA player, you'll have somebody come up to you and be like, "Hey, do you play
Maxi Kleber?" Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Chris Taylor, if you saw him on the street, is the first thing you see. Do you play baseball? Who the hell would ever ask that to Chris Taylor? You'd ask, like, what firm are you at? You'd ask him that. That is the first question you would ask.
No, yeah. I mean, like, that is the thing. Like, objectively speaking, like, Chris
Taylor and, like, Kirby Yates on the Dodgers.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
We would recognize Blake Trinan, but if Blake Trinan was out in LA, people would be like, what truck do you drive?
Yeah, he's got the soul pack. Like Mike Conley is an example. Like he's obviously been in the league for a while, but he's like 5'8"? Like he's not a super
not 5'8". But nobody in the NBA is under 6 foot. That's like Chris Conley's Paul is the only player in the NBA under 6 foot, but he's listed 6 foot. He's 5'9" and 3/4. Come on, we know Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mike Conley 5'8" out of Timberwolves fan over here.
Hey. One.
5'8" is really short. That's really short.
One. I don't watch every Timberwolves game. I only watch the playoffs.
5'8". 5'8's a little man. Nate Robinson might be 5. Check Nate. If Nate Robinson's 5'8", oh boy.
2.
Your height scale when it comes to NBA players back.
2.
Check Nate Robinson's height. Check it.
2. The other.
You're not gonna say the 2 point until you tell me what Nate Robinson's height is. I think it's
5'9".
Oh, so he's taller than what you thought Mike Conley is.
Well, I'm comparing. Like I'm looking at him standing next to Rudy Gobert.
No, fair.
So I just instantaneously think that he's shorter.
5'8". 5'8". 5'8", Mike Conley.
Hey, you know what? My apologies.
If Mike Conley was still in the NBA and he was 5'8", he might be the best basketball player if you just look at pure talent. Like, that was another point I've heard recently from KB. Is Muggsy Bogues the most talented basketball player ever because he was that short? Like, because he was in the NBA for that long.
Currently,
is Muggsy Bogues the most talented NBA player ever because he was that short?
The shortest NBA player of all time was 5'8".
No, dude, Muggsy Bogues is 5'8".
Yuki Kawamura, the shortest NBA player of
Well,
all
that's
time.
just incorrect. Muggsy Bogues, 5'3". So that's wrong.
But
That's
this is
wrong.
he's the only man under 6 feet tall on an active. Or no, this what? No, maybe that's
You told me 5'8". That you told me that's the shortest height in NBA history.
that's the current. That's the current.
Well,
Current
I don't
shortest.
believe he's on an NBA roster.
Muggsy Bogues was on the opposite side.
5'3".
Yes. No, Muggsy Bogues was on the opposite side. That's current.
Okay, but this is
current is Yuki Kawamura.
Muggsy Bogues was 5'3", and in the NBA, let me get. He was in the NBA for 14 seasons. Is he the most talented basketball player of all time because he was 5'3" and he played 14 years? I think he might be the most talented basketball player of all time.
Right.
He might be.
He had.
I'm not saying the best. I'm saying pound for pound. He is the best basketball.
I have his career stats real quick.
Pound for pound, Muggsy Bogues.
He averaged 7.7 points per game at 5'3". He averaged 7.6 assists per game and 1.5 steals.
Okay, well, hold the phone. Okay, but Muggsy Bogues at 5'3", he averaged 4 boards one year. 4 rebounds for a 5'3" guy. Everett. That might be the most impressive thing in sports. 4 rebounds for a guy who's 5'3"? That's essentially loose balls that he picked up, Everett. How else is he going to get a rebound? Like, those might be the original steal stat right there. Like,
rebounds per game. Yeah. I mean, dude, 4.1 boards.
Wait. There's a couple of seasons where he has 0.1 blocks. I need to look up every basketball player who's ever been blocked by Muggsy Bogues. You are in the Hall of Shame.
Yeah, dude, that is crazy.
Every player to be blocked by Muggsy Bogues. I got it. He has blocked a total of 30.
Who's the first player on this list?
Oh boy. Not the first player ever blocked, but the worst culprit ever. What if I told you Muggsy Bogues blocked Patrick Ewing? How? Did somebody put him on his shoulders like it was a chicken jockey in the Minecraft movie?
Chicken jockey.
How else could Muggsy Bogues block Patrick Ewing? Was Patrick Ewing on the ground like loose ball and threw it off?
Grant, allegedly he blocked Michael Jordan.
That one I'm not that one I don't find as crazy. Patrick Ewing is nuts to me. Allegedly I don't believe this to be true. This is capital J journalism right here. He allegedly blocked Manute Bol in practice. Yeah, I don't believe that. I do not believe that shit for a second. Until I see video proof of him blocking Manute Bol in practice, no, I'm not buying that. But I can believe Manute Bol has relayed that story to make Muggsy Bogues seem better. I believe Manute Bol would back that up and lie on behalf of Muggsy. I would imagine, though, Muggsy Bogues being 5'3" in the world's tallest profession, he is more than okay with his height and not.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
He's a short king. He might be the shortest king, but I mean short king in the sense where he doesn't give a shit.
No, yeah,
he really doesn't give a shit that he's short.
I mean, dude, you have probably one of the greatest accomplishments.
We can confidently say basketball is the tallest profession in the world, right? Is there any other profession that would be taller?
On average, I don't think so.
I think basketball player is the tallest profession.
Like, I don't know what would be the next comparable thing.
I have no idea. I was thinking maybe like tall,
like a literal tall man.
Really tall ceiling electrician installers. Maybe like you have to be 6'8" to do that one. You know, like
I mean, there's guys in the NFL and like MLB that are 6'8".
No, but we got to go sport wide. We can't just say.
Well, if we're talking
offensive line,
we're talking about sport wide. MLB is the most range, but the NBA is the most consistently.
And there's the smallest amount of players in the NBA. So NBA,
yeah,
you got,
which is why
you got a finite number of spots. That's the sort of thing about college basketball. You know, there's not many players on the team, folks. big point. But we got anything else?
Hold on. Who's Carson? Who's the Purdue guy? Carson. I'm just thinking of shorter guys right now. Carson
Edwards.
I think
I don't think he's that short. I think he just played next to 7'6".
5'11".
That's not that bad.
See, that's my thing. Whenever I have
look
somebody
up
super tall that stands next to somebody, my depth perception goes out the window.
Let me think of like a really small college. Marquise Noel, Kansas State. Marquise Noel, Kansas State. I believe that's his name.
5'7".
All right, there we go. That's a short king right there. See, I just pulled one. I pulled one. That was a good.
There you go.
That was a good pull.
There
Kansas State, come on. That was a good pull, guys. Come on. You guys got to admit. That was nice.
Yeah, no, that's...
You don't hear that name very often.
Yeah, that's solid.
And that may be the last time Marquise Noel was mentioned on media uploaded online in the past 6 months.
You say his name 3 times and he appears.
Whoa, you're giving me ideas like that movie we watched last night, Sinners.
Great movie, by the way.
Good film, good motion
movie.
picture.
Good movie.
Apparently, there was a second post-credit scene that we did not save for.
Did not know that.
I suggest you Google it. It was good.
It was good.
Awesome. Had some stuff in it. But
you looked up immediately when you got home.
Well, I just looked up Sinners afterwards, and then I watched the post-credit scene we saw, and then someone was like, "Yeah." So the second to last, I was, oh god, second to last. Oh.
I would just like to say the woman next to us who said there was a post-credit scene then said we were free to leave, like we were good to leave, like verbally told the entire theater that after that.
Oh, I do remember this too. Okay,
so I blame her.
No, all blame gets directed towards her.
She told us we were okay to
go. Have we ever considered that?
It is possible.
But all right. Anything else?
No, I mean honestly, I think that's it. Like we said, the setup is a work in progress. Microphones will hopefully be fixed for next episode, but with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everstakes and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok, so make sure to check us out there as well at the Waterboy Pod. With that, see you guys in the next episode. Waterboy's out.